Let me know where we're at, babe.
Good on Facebook.
Okay. Just hold to the end, just in case we're not good with anything. That's the only thing I need to know. Like if one of them isn't on, you know what I mean?
Yes, I'll let you know.
What's going on, Donut Fermi Nation? Sorry for the mix up at the beginning. It happens. This software is buggy at times. It's also Facebook, just what they do. They've got to screw with everybody and everything. But what's new? It's Facebook. Welcome to the Donut Fermi Show. Happy Red Friday. Even though Olivia's not wearing red. I mean, it's only Memorial Day. I guess we don't care about the veterans, right, Liv?
Yep, that's totally me.
That's you.
Don't care at all.
It's your MO. I knew it. I had a feeling. I don't know why you married one. Folks, if you haven't been here before, please like the stream. There's a reason why content creators ask you to like, share, and subscribe. It's not because they just all have that same brain. They do it because if you don't like, share, and subscribe, the channel doesn't grow. It's had a very good day across all channels. TikTok is growing. I went back on the TikTok a couple of weeks ago. I didn't say anything, but it's getting some leverage. And YouTube had, I don't know, 12, 13,000 views on a video today. So we'll be right back. Let's get it out there. Let's get it shared and liked, please. And we got about 8 seconds. We'll see you in 3 minutes on the rebound.
Matthew, it's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the DUM Show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. We've got a great name for the show, and I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great. And I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more. And just keep the faith. Keep fighting. I think we may get America back. But in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb. And you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The DUM Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The DUM Show on social media or thedumshow.com.
We got to get Ryan back on here.
Adjusting transmitter output. This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Happy Red Friday. Hat was a little crooked. Liv, what's going on? How are you, babe?
I'm great. I'm waiting for Hayden to answer her phone so she can bring me my wrist brace. Because I forgot it. It's right there. I totally forgot
Where's it at?
It's right on the speaker right there. But I didn't want to get up and Hayden, even though she's got her
right
face.
there.
Yes, on that speaker.
Like
right there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Right here.
Uh-huh. I don't have a yardstick.
Hurry up.
Oh, she could have her phone, her face in her Kindle as opposed to her phone.
I don't know what she's doing. Somebody come here, please. What's going on, man? It's the weekend. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good weekend.
Yes, excited for the chat tomorrow.
Oh yeah, chat tomorrow. Tell everybody about the chat.
If you are part of the DUM Club, once a month we do a Zoom call with everyone, and it's completely informal, no topics. Come ask questions, get to know us on a more personal level. So
Personal level.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's tomorrow. Hi,
Hand
could
me
you
my
hand mom a
wrist
wrist brace?
brace.
I know, and that's
I
stupid.
know. Don't give me that look.
Come on, Hayden.
I gave birth to you. Thank you.
Yes. Guilt. Yeah. Oh, there's the big hog. Chuck donated $500 freaking
Thank you,
dollars.
Chuck, sir.
Chuck,
We
Mr.
appreciate
Peterson,
that.
you are amazing. Thank you so much. That puts us at let's see, $173 basically. Is that right? Yep, $173 and okay, $172.44. I think my math is right. So to hit our monthly goal. So we are a little early. We love that. But seriously, because every little bit.
34 cents.
What did I just say?
44. It's 34 cents, I think.
It is 40. It is 44 cents. But why did I say 34?
No, you said 44. I think it's 34
Oh,
cents.
it's 34. Yeah, it's not 44. So it doesn't matter.
I know. Why
don't you do the rest of it? Why don't you do the rest of it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
But Chuck,
I can.
you're amazing. Yeah, only take you 20 minutes.
$173.
Chuck is, dude, we saw that, and that happened
right after the show.
Wednesday night. Yeah, like we were just, and it's, we're humbled. It happens all the time, and people just do incredible things, and we're humbled. Well, Chuck, thank you. I heard about this, and I didn't know about this. I really didn't. And well, I did. And I was talking to Terry, and Terry has like 17, 18 different hosts. And he's like, dude, there's people who give some of our hosts $10,000 a month. They just, they just give them $10,000 a month because they believe what they're doing is important. And it I'm one of those guys. I'm kind of like Cinderella Man, it's like after I get the handout, I go and, eat bologna forever. And then I go win a prize fight and I give the money back. I've never been unemployment. I don't think I've ever been on unemployment longer than a couple months my entire life. Even when I was injured, my disability for being a veteran, I was at 90% and I reduced that to 10 and then just gave it back. And, I've never been that guy. It's never been needed, and it's not needed now. I mean, I could literally stop the stop
it's not me.
stop the show and go and work. Because this is work. I mean, anyone who thinks this isn't work has never done it. But go and do the corporate gig and go get my 401k and my travel and all that shit, and I could do that. But this truly. It truly just, it's just miraculous, and people are amazing. Just absolutely freaking amazing. So it's not just Chuck. It's everybody who makes this happen every single month and has really kept us going. We try not to ask for too much. We look at, what it will take to keep the show moving forward and still, advertise and still, produce clothes and all that type of stuff. And people have just been amazing. By the way, wanted to let you all know we have a Documents of Freedom order that just came in. Jason just dropped them off a few hours ago, and we have got, I think, one more left. So if you're interested in getting the Documents of Freedom, we're going to ship those out this weekend. Olivia and I, we're going to make sure all the books get out. I'm waiting for one more set of books to go, and then we will ship out the Documents of Freedom. So Terry, thank you, and thank you for everybody who's given over the last few months. And it's literally something we never did. We didn't accept donations. People would say, well, can I donate? I might just go buy something from the store or whatever, or give to a veterans charity. But the last 2.5 months, Liv, right? About that? Mm-hmm. We've asked, and people have stepped up. So once again, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We do. We really do.
Yes, we do.
So here's the deal. So I'm starting to feel like we're hitting our stride, and I'm starting to figure out what people want to hear. But people don't want to hear how clever I am. People don't want to hear how neat I can be with my wordsmithing. They just want to hear the truth, and they want to be able to understand the truth. So here's the 3 things that I've learned over the last 4 years doing this job. Is number 1, people want to hear the truth. Number 2, people want to be challenged. I never thought I believed that, but they really do want to be challenged. Norma says, Olivia, your hair looks real pretty like that. Yes, it do.
I said, thank you, Norma.
Yeah, it's going to get messed up later. I'll tell you that much. So, they want to be challenged, and people want their narrative challenged. They'll go kicking and screaming and fight it, but they do want the narrative challenged. And the third thing is they want it as direct and simple as possible. Now, that's where I fail, because I am not a simple, I'm not a simple person. I don't know what a flowy tank is. I have no idea what the hell y'all are talking about.
Flowy tank?
They want me to get them a flowy tank top. I don't know what a flowy tank top is. What is a flowy? Will you Google this, please?
Yes.
And they're like, and I'm like, what? I don't know how to, what? So look it up, please, because I'm confused. What's the difference between a flowy tank? There's not much room to do much with a tank top. Like, what else could you?
Oh, they're like the baggy ones that I see.
Flowy tank top. It sounds like a venereal disease. Oh, okay. So like a dressy tank top. Like a dressy tank top.
Yes.
Yes, we'll figure that out. Yeah. Olivia, did everyone send you a list?
No.
Okay, well, how do you expect her to do it if you haven't sent her the list, guys?
No.
You guys, see, here's the thing. If you don't send it to Olivia, it's not going to get done.
It's got to be sent to me on Messenger, not via chat during the show.
Or email. You can send it to owner@donutfriendly.com and attach and just say at Olivia. All right. So those are kind of the things that I think that people want. Some people say like to hear my take on current events, but I just got done writing this, and I just took a half hour when Olivia was getting frozen yogurt, and I was just okay. So here it is, and I'm going to read this. Bear with me on this one. Here it is. Over the past 30 years as an executive retail leader, I would always ask applicants one thing. If you could have the podium of the company for one day, what would you say? This question reveals so much about a person's vision and priorities. And today I ask myself the same question. If I could be Donald Trump for one day and attempt to galvanize the party and the disenfranchised around us, what would I say? In this moment, addressing the heart of our movement to inspire and unite us under the common values that make America great, this is what I would say. Since 2016, the GOP has failed to erect a real party platform, allowing confusion and misrepresentation to seep into our ranks. The lack of a clear, unified vision diluted who we are and provided an opportunity for leftists to label us with their narratives. This failure paved the way for the rise of the MAGA movement, a response to the Uniparty and a failed GOP that lost its way. So let me set the record straight. I am a lifelong supporter of the conservative movement, which the MAGA movement embodies. From Lincoln to Reagan, our principles have remained constant. We are not the party of needless change. We are the party that supports change that embodies American principles and the Constitution of the United States. We champion free speech. We believe in the right of individuals to express their opinions without fear of censorship or retribution. The Democratic Party often supports policies that limit speech under the guise of preventing hate speech. This leads to a slippery slope, where the definition of hate speech can be manipulated to silence and dissenting voices. Many left-leaning platforms and media outlets have been criticized for deplatforming conservative voices, showing a clear bias against free expression. We're here to protect your voice. The conservative movement stands firmly on the side of life. We believe in the sanctity of life from conception to natural death. Democrats often promote a pro-choice stance, advocating for the right to terminate pregnancies. This stark contrast is evident in legislative battles over abortion laws, where Democrats push for less restrictive abortion policies. Our pro-life stance is rooted in the belief that every life is valuable and deserves protection. We are unapologetically pro-America. We believe in American exceptionalism and the unique role our country plays in the world. The Democratic Party, however, often seems more focused on apologizing for America's past and pushing a globalist agenda that undermines our sovereignty. This is seen in their support for international agreements that prioritize global interests over American interests. We put America first, always. The conservative movement is pro-business, advocating for policies that create a favorable environment for entrepreneurship and economic growth. Democrats, conversely, often push for higher taxes and more regulations, which stifle innovation and burden small business. Our approach has always been to reduce the red tape and let the free market thrive, as seen in the economic boom under the recent Republican administrations. We believe in the power of free trade to create jobs and economic opportunities. While Democrats claim to support trade, their actions often result in protectionist policies that hurt American consumers and workers. Our pro-free trade stance is about fostering relationships that benefit all parties involved, rather than engaging in trade wars or imposing tariffs that can backfire on our economy. We support legal immigration and the idea that people who want to come to America should do so through the proper channels. The Democrats' stance on immigration often includes pushing for open borders and providing sanctuary to those who enter the country illegally. We believe in the rule of law and the importance of securing our borders to protect the integrity of our nation. We are pro-science, advocating for policies that support scientific research and technological innovations. Democrats often claim to be the party of science, but their approach sometimes ignores scientific consensus in favor of political agendas. For example, while we support the development of alternative energy sources, we also recognize the current necessity of fossil fuels and nuclear energy in maintaining our economy and national security. The conservative movement supports the freedom of religion and the right of individuals to practice their faith openly. Democrats often push for secularism, sometimes to the point of infringing on religious freedoms. Our stance is that religious beliefs should be respected and protected, not suppressed. We are pro-education, advocating for school choice and policies that put parents in control of their children's education. Democrats typically support a one-size-fits-all approach to education, often prioritizing the interests of teachers, unions, over students. Our pro-education stance emphasizes competition and accountability, which leads to better outcomes for students. The conservative movement is dedicated to protecting civil liberties. We believe in the Constitution and the rights it guarantees. Democrats often support policies that encroach on these liberties, such as increased government surveillance and restrictions on gun ownership. We stand firm in our belief that individual freedom should not be sacrificed for the illusion of security. We are pro-limits on taxation, advocating for low taxes to stimulate economic growth and leave more money in the pockets of hardworking Americans. Democrats, on the other hand, frequently call for higher taxes to fund expensive programs. Our approach is to limit the size of government and let people keep more of what they earn. We value healthy debate and the exchange of ideas. We believe that though open discourse creates better policies and solutions, they can be found. Democrats often resort to shutting down conversations they find inconvenient or labeling opposing views as intolerant. We stand for a marketplace of ideas where all voices can be heard. The conservative movement is also pro-family. We believe in the fundamental importance of the family unit as the cornerstone of society. Strong families create strong communities, and strong communities create a strong nation. Democrats often push for policies that undermine the traditional family structure, promoting alternative lifestyles that can confuse and divide. We stand firm in our belief that supporting families through policies that promote parental rights, family values, and the sanctity of marriage is essential to maintaining the social fabric of our nation. By protecting and nurturing the family unit, we ensure a brighter future for generations to come. We recognize the importance of faith and moral values in shaping our society. The Democratic Party often pushes for a secular approach that marginalizes religious perspectives, and we believe that acknowledging a higher power and the role of religion in public life is crucial to maintaining the moral fabric of our nation. We believe in achieving energy independence to ensure our national security and economic stability. Democrats often push for policies that limit domestic energy production in favor of unreliable and expensive green energy alternatives. Our stance is to utilize all available resources, including oil, natural gas, and coal, to make America energy independent. We prioritize American interests in all policies, from trade to foreign relations. The Democratic Party often supports globalist agendas that place international concerns above those of American citizens. Our American First approach ensures that we are taking care of our people and our country first and foremost. We believe in maintaining a strong national defense to protect our country and its citizens. Democrats often push for defense cuts and policies that weaken our military capabilities. Our pro-defense stance ensures that we are always prepared to defend our nation against any threats. We advocate for ending the endless wars that have drained American lives and resources. Democrats often support interventions and military engagements that do not directly serve our national interests. Our position is to bring our troops home and focus on rebuilding and strengthening our nation. The conservative movement is unwaveringly pro-Second Amendment. We believe in the fundamental right of every American to keep and bear arms as enshrined in the Constitution. This right is essential for self-defense, protecting our families, and preserving our freedoms. The Democratic Party often pushes for stricter gun control, measures that infringe upon this constitutional right, arguing that such measures are necessary for public safety. However, we know that disarming law-abiding citizens does not make us safer. Instead, it leaves us vulnerable. We stand firm in our commitment to protecting the Second Amendment and ensuring that every American retains the right to defend themselves and their loved ones. By safeguarding this right, we uphold the very principle of liberty and security that our nation was founded upon. Now, let's talk about the Democratic Party. From the days of the Ku Klux Klan to their blanket disdain for Trump speaking in the Bronx, they have consistently pushed an ideology of class and racial division. Their platform has always been about suppression and control. They thrive on creating divides and then positioning themselves as the saviors. And it is always about increasing their power and diminishing the voice of the people. The conservative movement stands in stark contrast to this. We are about empowering individuals, protecting freedoms, and ensuring that Americans remain a beacon of hope and opportunity. It's time to reclaim our narrative and proudly stand by what we believe in. We are the conservative movement, and we are not going anywhere. Join us in this movement. Let's work together to create a nation where freedom, opportunity, and justice for all are not just ideals, but realities. Stand with us as we protect the values that make America great. We are the guardians of liberty, the defenders of the Constitution, and the voice of the people. Together, we can ensure that America remains the land of the free and the home of the brave. And this is our call to action. This is our time to rise. Let us be the generation that does not back down, that does not surrender to the forces of division and control. We are stronger together, united by our common values and our love for this great nation. Join us, and together we will make America a shining example of freedom, prosperity, and justice for all. We are the conservative movement. We are here to stay, and we invite you to stand with us shoulder to shoulder as we continue the fight for a better, brighter future for America. And together, we will continue to fight for our values, protect our freedoms, and ensure that America remains the greatest nation on earth. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. Let's make America great again. Now for $9.99, Donald, you can buy that for $10, and I will allow you to use that speech to galvanize the country where we can actually have a party platform that makes sense and resonates with the days of old, with the grand old party and this new movement, the MAGA movement. And it's about high time that somebody actually explains what the hell Make America Great Again stands for. And I think that does a fairly good job. I'm spent.
All right.
Thanks for watching the show, folks.
We're done.
We'll see you tomorrow. That's enough. I'm out of here.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the
Oh. All right. If anyone disagrees, we'll take phone calls. Would love to have somebody who thinks that anything I said wasn't accurate. And I will tell you this, that a lot of those things are certainly lofty. A lot of those things haven't been the GOP in a long time, but that's not what the GOP is indicative of. The GOP has really never been any of those things, or all of them consistently. That is the ideals of the MAGA movement. It truly is. Let's get back to the idea of what America once could have been and once was. And I don't think we've ever achieved those ideologies. And I don't think we ever will. But that's the layout of what the Constitution is. That is the layout of what our country should be. Marine 11, hello. Thanks for saying hi. But anyway, Liv, any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns from anybody?
It was one question. When is the last time our administration intentionally left Americans behind?
Iran. Yeah, Iran. I mean, Jimmy Carter tried, but was just horribly inadequate. I'm thinking.
I would think Afghanistan. Biden.
Well, no, but they're talking about outside of Biden. When's the last time? So when does it happen outside of Biden? We all know that Biden left Americans behind, of course. I think it would be Carter and hostages in Iran, and we did leave people behind in Vietnam, and we did leave people behind. I mean, I guess you got to kind of say it depends on how you define that. Is it an embassy takeover? Is it somebody gets picked up for spying? Because every administration has left Americans behind. Carter tried. Carter failed miserably. See, the difference between Carter and Reagan is just like Biden and Trump. And let me make these lines of distinction for you. Because I wrote a really good episode, really well-written episode. Sorry, it was strong. And it was before Biden even took office. And it said why Joe Biden's presidency will look just like Carter. And people said I was crazy. They're like, there'll never be gas lines again. They'll never run out of food. But we won't get involved in endless conflicts. We're not going to spend more money on foreign wars than we will on domestic issues, which we're doing that. Inflation will never see the north side of 4% ever again. You can't go back to racial division like it once was. Folks, everything I said in that thing came true to the frickin' knuckles. And the difference between Carter and Reagan was that Reagan simply said, the first day that I take office, we will invade Iran and we will get our hostages back. Yeah, but see, Tim, the difference between Benghazi is we actually went back and got our boys that were taken, and they were left behind, and they were, I don't think that's what they were saying. I think kept as a prisoner of war or as hostages. The stuff that they did to the team guys and the ambassador were absolutely just fucking appalling. But a little bit different. We recovered those bodies back. So I think what the question isn't when we abandon our troops, because then that I've got a lot of stories for those, and that's up into this administration and every administration prior, even Donald Trump's. Sorry. I mean, one of the first things Donald Trump did in his first 45 days is 6 SEAL team members were killed. So it doesn't mean that that's his fault. But the point is did we leave them behind because they were killed? Well, then that is a very wide scope. But if we're talking about left them behind and left them in country and did not go and work to get them out, then most assuredly there's Americans left behind in Afghanistan. There's Americans left behind in Israel. et cetera, et cetera. No, Tim, I'm not making that distinction. I know you get it. I'm just telling you that's what I interpreted the question being. But if we're going to go, how many times have we wasted American soldiers or American people's lives? Well, then that's every administration since the dawn of time. So I know you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, so if you take a look at Carter, Reagan was just like, day that I get in office, we're going to war, and we're going to Iran, and Iran's like, what? The fuck do you mean you're coming in? And Reagan's like, I swear to God, no, that's Bill Clinton. Sorry, I forgot who I was. I mean, I've got Alzheimer's, motherfucker. What do you want? My brain is it's not doing too well.
Well, I'll tell you what we will do. I've thought about this for quite a long time, and we will invade Iran. And I will personally throw jelly beans at those sons of bitches until our boys come home. And how do I know? Well, Bonzo told me.
So he said, that's it. We're going in. And if you take a look at Biden,
Don't.
You know, and he's just like Carter, and Carter did the same thing. You know, he was like peanut boy, and just like Southern, he couldn't be tough if he tried. I don't even know Carter's voice. It's not even in my head, but I'm assuming it's something like, y'all need to stop knocking boots in my territory or I'm going to get really tiffy. And nobody took him seriously. So then he sent him in, and he sent wave after wave, and just got Americans killed because he didn't listen to his military leaders. And it was a half measure. Well, Biden's the same way. You better not do it, Iran. You know, and that's not going to get it done. Trump is like, today, perfect example. I don't remember the name of the Westinghouse or Wagenhofer or whatever it is. It's a news reporter who was taken hostage, camera guy or whatever, reporter by Russia. And he's like, I'll get him back day one. Day one. He's like, Vladimir Putin respects me. I'll call him. I don't need to trade. And I'll tell him, let him go. And he'll let him go. And you're like, that's a bold statement, sir. But for some reason, I believe you because you said you were going to bring North Korean remains home, and you did. Everything you said you were going to do, you did. So it's just the difference between Carter and Reagan and Biden and Trump, and the administration similarities are eerily the same. Eerily the same. Make sense? All right. Anything else, Livy?
Nope. No questions.
Okay, great. Let's get to it. We got a lot to do. Appreciate y'all letting me read that. I wanted to record that so I could cut a show out of it. So I think I made 3 mistakes, but that's usually how it goes. I usually don't make too many mistakes when I'm reading. Years of practice. And trust me, that's a skill set that I enjoy because then it's less time behind the computer. Liv, you had something that you weren't happy about today.
Well, I can officially say that I am a proud deplorable, and I'm a proud clown.
You are a clown.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I was going to say.
That's the one thing we were watching today.
No, that is what we were watching today. But you were, hold on. See if I can find it. Where did it go? Here it is.
Oh.
You were going to show, you chose the bear.
Yes.
As the feminist thing going around that women would rather choose a bear than a man to be alone with in the woods because men will rape them and all this other bullshit. Olivia chose the bear. Why don't you tell people about these pictures? The next one is coming in. Here it is.
Yeah.
So don't go into specifics about where you are, but just what is this?
That would be a bear did that to that fence. A low guy too. I think he was maybe an adolescent. I think he's only like 4 feet tall. I did not personally see it, but
Thank you for not assuming it's gender.
But I heard first person accounts of people who did see it, and but it decided
brown
to
or
run.
Brown or black, right?
The person who saw it said it was brown.
A brown bear in Virginia?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know. It was probably more freaked out than the person who saw it was. But yeah, it was, it ran smack into that fence and then went for the other one and then got into the front courtyard and then scaled the fence to get out on the other side. All with someone standing there.
I don't think brown bears are in
I don't
in
think
Virginia.
they are either. I think brown bears are a lot more
predominantly north.
well, yeah, and I think they're a lot more like vicious and not you don't want to mess with
No,
them.
black bears. No, black bear. You don't want to fuck with a black bear. No, black bears are no. You're thinking of grizzlies or Kodiaks. Well, of course, because those things are like polar bears. But as far as bears, like you don't want to get in a corner with. You don't want to get in a corner with a black bear. They're not fun. Yeah, they do a lot of attacks. They are. They're usually light brown to black. With adolescent, they have more brown in them. But you can tell by their snouts. Their snouts are usually solid tan or white, and then predominantly black ears. But then they might have some. But you don't want to mess with black bear. You don't want to mess with any bear. But black bears are usually they're fairly curious, unafraid, and their habitants are usually inside populated areas, and they're garbage dwellers, and that means they're comfortable around humans, and they have no problem engaging with you. And if they don't like you, you're going to get your ass attacked.
It sounds like the size of it was an adolescent, and apparently it was still hanging around town sometime today. Because the last time authorities saw it was sometime earlier this morning, and it was like down on Main Street, like off of Main Street. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes me have fond memories of home. Now all we need is a wolf and a mountain lion to come join the party, and it'll be just like back in Montana.
Yeah, black bears. We had black bears in Colorado, and they would chase after the car. And they would slam into the side of the car. Like you'd be going down the road to my parents' house, and they would come sideways.
Jeez.
Yeah, and they'd bang into your car. And you'd be going 35, 40, and they slam into the back of the
Apparently they think they can win against a car.
Black bears don't mess around. They're very angry individuals. Violet says, did you see the 4,000 feminine scream? Obviously didn't watch the show on Thursday, Violet, because we covered that. Actually, what was that, Wednesday? That's when Leroy came. So I think it was Wednesday.
No, it had to be Tuesday because it was just me and you on Wednesday. So,
whatever.
And I wasn't there on Tuesday, so I didn't see
whenever Leroy came, we did the 4,000 scream video. So we did that, and it was great. Folks, real quick, if you have not had a chance to donate to the show, we are looking to hit our... Oh, Blizzard just gave us
what's going
on? They threw a patch out today.
Oh, cool.
So better gold. Better drops, better master working costs,
cool.
More jewels, more gems to make your gems easier to collect. So good things, and some minor nerfs. Warriors were overproducing, and they're like, no, you're done. So they nerf because it's the season of the Necro. They're like every season, one class gets OP'd, and it's Necro's turn, and Druids, and they're like, well, I don't know, my rogue's pretty badass, but anyway, so's your mage. Anyway, the point is that's what's going on. All right, so yeah, let's get into this. We got a lot to do. So don't worry about it, Violet. Just go back and take a look, and you'll see it. I think it was Tuesday's show. Luckily, we have all of those. But if you have not had a chance to donate to the show, please do. You can go to linktapgo.com/the DUM Show. It's right down there. And your tip will pop up, and everyone can see it. It's really cool. Also, the DUM Club. We forgot to tell them. The DUM Club. We've got a call going on Saturday. If you have not joined the DUM Club, go to thedumclub.com. All DUM Club listeners, check your spam box and your trash. If you're having a problem getting all your registration emails for the DUM Club, it's because it's in the trash. You've got to star us. So go to your email program and put a star as a favorite, add us to your address book, and we will not. You can do owner@don'tunfriendme.com, matt@thedumshow.com. You'll see these. But please add us to your favorites and your address book so we don't go to spam, because we constantly communicate with you guys. There's also new video shows on the DUM Club, also with some new pictures. Those are all up and ready to go for you. And remember, our call's tomorrow at noon. If you have not joined thedumclub.com, now you can. It's $10 a month, for gosh sakes. Just join it this month and then cancel if you want to. But either way, get into this call tomorrow. We would love to have you on there, okay? All right, great. Let's go into something. You were talking about Governor Hochul.
Is that her name?
Hochul. Yeah, who basically, like, literally looks like, I don't know, she got run over by the ugly truck. She looks like Lily Tomlin with more makeup.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a peach. Like deplorables, gun grabbing, Bible thumping, Rust Belt deplorables wasn't good enough. Here we are. I'm going to go ahead and have you do this and talk about this, and we're going to play it right now. Here it is. Maybe. All right. Maybe. Oh, boy, come on.
It's Friday on a long weekend.
There's no reason for this. Our internet is too damn good.
Well, I'll tell you, it won't make a difference at all, Jake, and that is for Donald Trump to
No
be the
video.
ringleader
Okay.
and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never. Well, I'll tell you, it won't make a difference at all, Jake, and that is for Donald Trump to be the ringleader and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never, ever support Donald Trump for president. We know him better than anyone, and that means we understand what he's all about is just for himself. So this state will go solidly behind Joe Biden for president, as it has in the past. So he wants to spend his time doing these made-up fake rallies and pretending their support here. Be my guest, because while you're doing that, Donald
Thank
Trump,
you, Anna.
Joe Biden's out there on the other side, making sure he's delivering for all Americans. And so go ahead, spend all your time you want in New York, because we'll be with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's out there winning over the rest of the battleground states.
You just only need to make a meme and turn her into a clown.
I have so much to say. So you might want to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off here, because I got a few things to say about this impetuous biznatch.
I've called them this before, is they are the schoolyard bullies. That's what Democrats are. And it's funny how she's calling people who voted for Joe Biden last time and have been Democrats and lifelong Democrats and voted Democrats their whole life. And they're just sick of what's going on. And now they're changing. And all of a sudden, because they're changing and they're not supporting you anymore, they're clowns. They're just the big bullies, and they're babies because someone calls out their bullshit and then they go cry back to mama. And it's just, it's ridiculous. And she's also delusional. if she, those made up rallies, yeah, because they're totally made up, and he pays all those people to be there. Totally.
Well, the thing is that some people said it was 30,000. It wasn't 30,000. And if you don't know that Donald Trump exaggerates when it comes to numbers, then you're just not paying attention. But to say that it was 300 people like they did, or a couple hundred, that's bullshit. There were at least 10,000 people there, because there was 3,500 is what the permit said. And then on outside of the gates, people who were not allowed in. There's always thousands of people out there too. And the fact is that this is what it comes down to. Democrats are afraid. There's kind of this speakeasy kind of thing that you do not go and stump in strongholds of Democrats. This is the number one the bluest county in America. And you don't go stump there. This is why it's kind of like, you don't want Democrats going into the Midwest. You don't want them going into Republican strongholds. But the thing is they're just not welcome there. They'll be booed off the place. They just will not be welcome there. See, because Republicans don't care. Even Democrats who are in small towns don't like big city Democrats. They just don't, because they're blue collar pretty much wherever they're at. If Donald Trump is so evil, if Donald Trump is the Hitler, like they say he is, and he's the big Klansman, racist, Nazi leader, right? That's what they're saying, right?
Yep.
Then why would you not want him to go into predominantly black and Hispanic neighborhoods so people could hear his hate speech and make up their own mind to go out and turn the masses against him?
Exactly.
Hold on. Let's let that bake for a minute. If he is the Nazi, Klan member, racist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic asshole that they say he is, then why don't you just let him talk? Why don't you be like, yeah, Donald, please, we'll pay for you. Why don't you come to one of our rallies? Why don't you come to the DNC? If he's Hitler, why don't you let Hitler talk? Just so everyone can see what Hitler sounds like. I mean, doesn't that make sense, Liv?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I think this whole, we have to keep him in New York for his court case and he can't leave, is backfiring him. because now when he's not in court, he's gonna go have rallies and he's gonna campaign in New York because he can't campaign anywhere else.
Listen, he's not going to win New York, and it's not. This will not be a generational change election. This is still going to be a close election. Speaking of close election, we'll have to talk about Nikki Haley. Anyway, we'll do that in a minute. But to see him this is what I said all along. He's got to get out. And now that he has black vote, which he does, he needs to get black momentum. And if he can capture black momentum, the Democrats are toast. They're done. They're absolutely done. Because all they have to do is create enough people who just decide, wow, we've been lied to. We're going to sit this one out. And if you suppress the black vote by having them not vote, then that's a win. He's not going to win New York. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I never thought he would.
Everyone's like, let's pray. He's not going to win New York. Okay.
He won't win California either.
Let me explain this to you. There is no way in hell that Donald Trump will win New York. Okay. I will turn my podcast off and I will sell it to somebody. There is no way. He will not win California. He will not win New York. Okay. Just like Biden ain't going to win Texas. There has not been enough generational shift yet for that to happen. Now, could New York be in play sometime? Maybe. But if he can just do 10, he's already doing 10% better than what Biden did in 2020 and what Trump did. So he's already having an impact. And honestly, if they can just narrow the popular vote in New York, that is no, you can't dream. That's not a dream. It's a nightmare because it's a complete fallacy. There is no feasible way he wins New York. There is no way. I don't think people understand what I'm trying to tell you. There is no way. He will not win New York. There is nothing I can tell you with more certainty than that about this election. New York is ungettable. But he can hit 10 to 12, 15% of the black vote, which is a massive, massive, massive blow to Joe Biden. And that's what he should do. New York is firmly entrenched, and there hasn't been enough generational change yet. But this is where it starts. This is what Reagan didn't do this, but he won 49 out of 50 states. You do not see electoral maps like that. It doesn't happen. That's why it's only happened once in U.S. history to be that close. That was the closest election ever in U.S. history, or the biggest landslide ever in U.S. history. It was just absolute obliteration. The Dole, Illinois, I don't think he can win Illinois. Illinois has too many ghettos. Mm-hmm. I think the rural areas of Chicago will do what they always do. But I'm not breaking down the election yet. We can do this. I've already given you guys the electoral map, and I think the way that the map is that he wants to win New Hampshire. And that's why he went out with Nikki Haley today. And he went on a dance with Nikki Haley. And everybody's like, he's just being gracious. I'm like, when the fuck has Donald Trump ever been gracious? Give me a break. Give me a break. Seriously? That's what you guys are going to say? Why can't you guys just give me my due? Why can't you just be like, Matt, everyone on YouTube, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. I knew you were going to say this. I knew you're going to. And people who've left my show and hated me, they're all back. 12,000 views. There's like 100 comments on there, and people are just like, he's not going to have her on the ticket. Well, that's what just Donald Trump didn't say. He's not. Just because his campaign puts out a true social, Donald Trump has an inherent flaw, and that he chooses bad people sometimes. So do I believe Nikki Haley would be a horrible VP for him? No. But right now, my gut is Tulsi Gabbard, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis. And I think one of them is a huge mistake. I think one of them is a useless mistake. And one of them is a huge success. Tulsi Gabbard is a liberal. She believes in late-term abortion. She believes in gun confiscation. She believes in reducing the size of our military. She believes in cashless bail. Dude, why the hell do you guys want Tulsi Gabbard? I am baffled. Yeah, now people are taking my things. Oh, I think Nikki Haley's Secretary of State. Oh, geez, if only I didn't say that. I've been saying Nikki Haley for 4 years. Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley for 4 years. I've been saying it, and I told you she needs to be on the ticket as VP, or she needs to be in a prominent place in his cabinet. That's what I said. That is what I've said for 4 years. Well, guess what? We got a checkmark prominent place in his cabinet because he said it. And if you think he's still not considering, she just went ahead in Indiana. She hit 21% on the primary. She's been out of the race for freaking 3.5 months. 3.5 months, and she hit 21% of the vote. Folks, if he brings Nikki Haley onto the ticket, he may lose a couple people who say they were never Trump supporters to begin with. But you bring Nikki Haley in and you stick her on the ticket, he's got the election wrapped. It's over. Women are going to flock to him. They're going to flock to him. And I know you guys don't want to hear it.
I don't know what people have against Haley anyway.
Because they don't know. See, like, watch this. Carmen Kuda with Superwoman. I can't stand the thought of sneaky Nikki being BP. I hope not. She's backstabbing Rhino. Please tell me which policies that she went against Donald Trump on. Please tell me which policies make her a Rhino, which is a Republican in name only, that are Democrat, progressive, socialist, or middle of the road supporting. Please let me know. Name one policy. Name one policy of hers that are aligned with Joe Biden. I'll wait. Yeah, Haley, no, I've been hearing that for 4 years. Guys, it just make me laugh. Make me laugh. Haley, nah, even when Donald Trump says it? Come on.
You know what you just reminded me of when you said, you make me guys laugh. You reminded me of Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction. The watching my ass.
Watch my ass. Nah. Okay, so
what you just said,
it just makes me laugh because even now you guys are like, he's just being gracious. It's like, how long are you just going to absolutely just be in denial, y'all? It's politics. You guys make this like a personality contest. Here you go. Merry Christmas. Take a listen.
A big night last night. Nikki Haley making her first public remarks since dropping out of the race. She said that Joe Biden has been a catastrophe, and she said she's voting for you. I'm sure those were welcome.
She raised taxes on fuel prices. So did 16 different states this year alone. Everybody raised gases up and down. It's one of the big revenue factors for states to do. I don't know what to tell you. People raise taxes sometimes, and when you're in a podunk, you're gonna occasionally you need to generate revenue for your state. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not defending Nikki Haley. I don't care what her policies are. She's polling at 21% in the primaries. You have 21% of the vote that you can just throw in Donald Trump's corner right now. What he lost in 2020 will just come to his corner right now, and the election's over. He puts Nikki Haley on the ticket. Election's over. Here, let's listen to Trump's words, not mine, so you guys can make excuses of why I'm wrong still. Here it is.
A big night last night. Nikki Haley making her first public remarks since dropping out of the race. She said that Joe Biden has been a catastrophe, and she said she's voting for you. I'm sure those were welcome remarks for you, but it also left a lot of people wondering, is there room for her on your team, or better yet, your ticket?
Well, I think she's going to be on our team because we have a lot of the same ideas, the same thoughts. I appreciated what she said. You know, we had a nasty campaign. It was pretty nasty. But she's a very capable person, and I'm sure she's going to be on our team in some form.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely.
How many times have I told you?
You guys, I don't understand why you don't listen to me. I'm just laughing. It's just like everything else that I've been right about. It's boring. It used to be fun. Tim says Haley is Killary. Please tell me which policies that Nikki Haley has that are even remotely like the progressive Hillary Clinton. I'll wait. Tell me. Where is she at with gun control? Where is she at with abortion? Where is she at with free trade? Where is she at with states' rights? Where is she at with Roe v. Wade? Where is she at with cashless bail? Where is she at for energy independence? Where is she at for defense? Nikki Haley has one flaw. Her flaw is that she believes that everything is military intervention. Well, the good news is the vice president doesn't get to declare that. She'll be put in her place. The chief of staff will put her in her place. The joint chiefs will put her in her place. She has a military husband, and she's trying to reach out to the veteran crowd because, honestly, surprisingly enough, the veteran crowd has been weak on Donald Trump. They didn't show up in 2020 the way they should have. Virginia Beach didn't go to him. Pendleton didn't go to him. A lot of bases did not show up. San Antonio didn't show up for him. Colorado didn't show up for him. East Coast bases, Kings Bay, Georgia didn't show up for him. So a lot of military bases didn't show up. So Haley was doing her thing. But vice president doesn't get to dictate foreign policy, and she never will. Secretary of State, she can, but she still doesn't get to deploy the military. That's Donald Trump's job. So that's not going to happen. That's the only thing I have a problem with Nikki Haley. I think she, but you notice one thing that's interesting is that Donald Trump was talking about deploying forces and special operations into the cartels. Who said that first? Nikki Haley. He also went ahead and said, well, we need to take an abortion stance. We need to go ahead and do the right to life bill, and we need to do the heartbeat bill. Well, guess who said that? Nikki Haley. So isn't it funny that he even openly said in that bit, the biggest thing he said, the only thing that's important that he said, let's play it again. Listen to what he said. This is the only thing. Listen.
I'm sure those were welcome remarks.
Well, I think she's going to be on our team because we have a lot of the same ideas.
That's it. There it is. Listen again. Listen.
Be on our team because we have a lot of the same ideas, the same thoughts. I appreciated what she said.
That's it. That's the only thing that matters. That entire freaking clip, that is the only thing that matters, what he just said. We have the same ideas. We have the same thoughts. We believe in the same things. That's it, folks. That is him bringing her and presenting her to MAGA. And it's going to be a slow roll. And it's going to be about a month and a half. But you will start hearing more and more about Nikki Haley as she's in consideration for VP. So is Ron DeSantis. So is Tulsi Gabbard. Now, do I have that information? No, nobody does. Anyone who tells you they know who the VP pick is, they're lying. But I can read the tea leaves because I can look at the polling numbers. And Tulsi Gabbard has an amazing push from the disenfranchised. Tulsi is very popular. A lot of people like her, and the moderate Democrats like her. It still doesn't bring enough to bring home the election. But it's not a horrible move. He just needs to marginalize her ass. Because if he gives her a speakership and gives her a platform, she could be the next president of the United States. And that is the worst thing for Republicans. That is the worst possible thing for Republicans. But to win an election, he can get the same thing with Nikki Haley. And the only thing you got to do is put a kibosh on the freaking military intervention shit. And then you can present her for 2028. You can put Youngkin on the ticket for 2028. You can put DeSantis on 2028. You can sideline her. You can just kick her to the freaking pasture. It doesn't matter. Just win her votes. This is the difference between politics and showmanship. But to say she's Hillary Clinton 2.0 is so stupid. It's just a stupid comment because you can't back it up. There's nothing you can do to back up with her policies. There's nothing policy related that she has because she's a governor and she's a UN ambassador. She's never put troops in harm's way, ever. Not once, not one time, ever. So therefore, you can't compare that. All you're doing is comparing what she said on the debate stage, and she was curtailing to the veteran count. It's politics, and people are making this sound like a high school prom. It's not. This is all about what and who can deliver. She can get New Hampshire. New Hampshire's in play. Remember I told you New Hampshire was in play, and everyone's like, I don't know. I've been telling you for over 2 years New Hampshire's in play. This election's could be decided by one electoral fucking vote. New Hampshire's a huge play. You get New Hampshire, now you have the Eastern Corridor. You have a stronghold there. Then you have Delaware. He's not popular in Delaware. His home state doesn't like him. You open up different areas like Massachusetts, and you start impacting the Democrat stronghold in the upper Northeast. You get New Hampshire, then you go ahead and talk about stealing an electoral from Maine or 2 or 3. You guys need to think long term here. Nikki Haley gives you Maine. She also opens up Virginia, where she is extremely popular. She is extremely popular in Virginia. Thank you, Hitman, for subscribing to the channel. I want you to stop thinking about popularity contests. I want you to start thinking about what's possible. Think about what's possible. Nikki is no Hillary, right? No one knows what he's going to do. Well, that's right, except for what he just said. He just said. He was calling her bird brain, talking about her extramarital affairs, disrespecting her husband to she's a good person and she's going to be on my team because we have the same ideas. Really? That's what Donald Trump does. He's that gracious, huh? No, he's not that gracious. He's been waiting for her, and I guarantee she was told, do not endorse me. Wait. Let's let it die down. Let some of these primaries go out. Let people see your numbers. Let them get used to you. Go dark. Don't say a fucking word. He talked to her right after she went out, and then boom, they haven't said anything. It's been completely ghosted. He put her on the back burner so people forgot. Went up and cozy up to DeSantis, floated a bunch of different VP names to feel everything out. And in the end, it all came down to what the national numbers said. And that's what I told you what would be said. He's got 3 considerations right now that are really going to give him the election. Which position do you think is most important? What? In the White House? What's the most important chiefs? Joint Chiefs. That's the most important. They control the military. But what's the most important position? The Chief of Staff. That's the most important. Chief of Staff is the most important position in the White House, more than Secretary of State, more than the Joint Chiefs, more than the Secretary of Treasurer, Secretary of Defense. The Chief of Staff gets you on the president's schedule. He controls everything, or she. Biden lost to RFK Jr. or others about 30% in a couple of states. Yeah. No, it's not Tim Lucy. No, you're probably right. I'm just trying to choose on records and content, and they're standing on bills and Constitution. Well, listen, I just want people to come on and tell me what policy Nikki Haley has that you disagree with. Everyone calls her a rhino. Listen, you don't like her. You don't like her because Trump told you not to like her. But if Trump tells you to love her, you guys had no problem with her as UN ambassador, just like you had no problem with Ron DeSantis. You guys told me it was going to be a DeSantis-Trump ticket, remember? You told me that Nikki Haley was going to run for president after Trump won, and because she was such a great ambassador, she could possibly be his VP. That's what we all heard. Why did you hate her? Because he told you to. And you did. And now you guys are still chomping at that trough. Get over it. It's politics. Livy, help me out here.
You're a better talker than I am. You know more about politics than I do. So if they're going to listen to anyone, listen to you.
Well, it's just, it doesn't matter what I say. Because the tea leaves are all leading to one thing. Honestly, I just hope whoever he picks helps him get elected. Tim, that's the only thing that's important. I don't care about anything else. Just get him in office. The VP is useless as tits on the board. The president gives them the power. They can't do anything. Well, they're second in line. Well, then let's make sure nothing happens to Trump. And even if it is, she doesn't stay president. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. There still is a vote that needs to take place. So let's just calm down. Nikki Haley, you notice how the people who came in here, they left. They couldn't write down one thing because they Googled it and they're like, what policies does Nikki Haley have in what word am I looking for? What policies does Nikki Haley have that are the same as Joe Biden's? And Google said nothing. And they're like, oh, okay, I gotta leave. She's not a rhino. She's a Republican. There's no Democrat principles that she possesses. She doesn't want to raise taxes. She raised gas tax. Every major governor in the United States raised gas tax. Anyone who is showing a non-surplus in their state raised gas tax. It's the number one thing they do. It is what it is. Young can raise gas taxes, and he's ultra conservative. Not everything is set in stone. Things don't work once they. Michelle, who are you talking to? I never said it was set in stone.
It might be a reply. Maybe.
Yeah, I have never said that it's set in stone. I have never said that Nikki Haley is going to be the VP. That's not what I said. I said if Donald Trump wants to win, he needs to pick Nikki Haley. She's the best choice. As of right now, what all the numbers say, all the voting says, that's the best choice for him. Now, MAGA is going to be upset, but they'll get over it. They're not going to vote for Biden. Are you kidding me? They're not going to stay home. And anybody who would, they're not truly MAGA to begin with. So let's just...
She was talking to listeners.
Okay. Yeah, nothing is set in stone. She isn't much different than Pence, in my opinion. Pence is a religious zealot. Nikki strikes you as a religious zealot? How? Mike Pence is 100% adamantly against abortion in any way, shape, or form. He is 100% pro-life, no abortion whatsoever. Nikki Haley has the most progressive abortion policy that is honestly where we need to go in order to get the middle to come to us. Donald Trump's already taken her policy. When she said that on the debate stage, he adopted it literally 3 days later, and I gave it to you and told you that. He flipped his entire premise on abortion when Nikki Haley voted. She was so freaking popular. It was the best thing she said in all the debates, and it polled the best with all voters across all demographic, even Republicans. So just right there is a complete 100% flip from Mike Pence. Do you want to go into more? I mean, I go into more. We can talk about free trade. Mike Pence does not embrace tariffs. He did not embrace the tariff move on China. The steel dumping, he did not embrace that. He was not 100% backing USMCA versus NAFTA.
She said no, as VP. She would do as Pence did as VP, is what she said.
Well, Pence did a lot as VP. Pence was one of the most
loyal VP.
He was one of the most active vice presidents in U.S. history. He was actively involved in the COVID campaign. He was actively involved in the debates. In fact, his debates polled better than Donald Trump and Biden's numbers. When he went after Tim Kaine and Kamala Harris, Mike Pence did a better job in that. He did foreign trade. He did oversight on the Abraham Accords with the Attorney General Barr. He was involved in all sorts of things. He was always by Trump's side, and he was always parroting Donald Trump and defending him. So I thought Pence did a great job as VP.
She said yes. That's what I'm saying. She would do just as well.
Okay, great. That's not what I got.
Long way around the bush.
Where would Vivek fit in your VP? But he can go back to India. That'd be good. Yeah. Vivek Ramaswamy. You mean the pharmaceutical king? You mean the guy who hated Trump and wrote about it in his book? The guy that trashed and said that Donald Trump should be arrested for J6? That Vivek? You mean the guy that just his political ambition, just wherever the wind blows? Yeah. Honestly, if you guys should be worried about the person who you should be worried about the most to enter the Trump campaign, Vivek Ramaswamy is absolutely numero uno, number one. Number two is Tulsi fucking Gabbard. I don't understand why Nikki Haley has never said anything about Donald Trump that he didn't start. She didn't start insulting him. She called him bird brain. She insulted his husband. He questioned that she was sold to China. Did you hear some of the shit that Trump said? She just defended herself. Listen, you guys make me defend Nikki Haley, and I don't want to defend Nikki Haley because she's got her faults. But to sit here and say, oh, she defended herself, she's a traitor. What? She was mean to Donald Trump. Good, he fucking deserved it. He was an asshole to her. She was UN ambassador. He loved her. He touted her. He said how great she was. She was amazing. Even when she went into the election, he said, she showed me the respect and loyalty to call me and ask. He said, green light, go. He's like, I'm just going to let you know. I'm going to have to hit you like I hit everyone else. But she called him and asked him. She asked permission. Vivek Ramaswamy didn't ask permission. Nobody kissed the ring. Nikki Haley called Donald Trump and said, can I run? This is my intention. This is why I want to run. And Donald Trump gave her the green light. Do you guys even like Trump? Do you guys Trump? I'm confused. I think it's combative tonight. I'm going to be a little combative because you haven't followed this or you haven't watched the show. 4 years. I've been telling you all this and you guys are acting all surprised. This isn't a surprise. This is the way politics work. It's about the votes. And right now, she's hitting 21% in Indiana. She can deliver. He will win New Hampshire by a fucking landslide with Nikki Haley. That's 4 electoral votes in the East. He flips a state. He flips 2 states. I showed you on the map. He flips 2 states. This race is over. He flips Wisconsin. He flips Michigan. He secures Georgia and Arizona, bring them back to the fold where they've always been. All he's got to do is flip Wisconsin, Michigan, or take New Hampshire in one of those, and it's over. Race is over. It's done. Kiss it goodnight. It'll be over by 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, Donald Trump. We're happy to announce Donald J. Trump as the next president of the United States. Is that what you want? Well, then help him flip a state. Help him flip New Hampshire. Help him flip Michigan and Wisconsin. Nikki Haley did very well in both states. Why not? You bring the Whitmer element. They love women. That's where you see Ilhan Omar come from. That's where you see Whitmer come from. They love their women political leaders. You bring a moderate element. You bring the abortion topic off the table because Nikki Haley actually is fairly well grounded to what middle of the road America wants. It takes Roe v. Wade off the table. Do you know what a fucking crushing blow that would be to the liberals? To take Roe v. Wade off the table, what are they going to run on? Bidenomics? Israel? Ukraine? Inflation? Food prices? Your savings account? Interest rates? You take abortion off the table, it's over. You bring Nikki Haley in, boom, it's over. Because all Trump's going to say is, I brought one of the strongest, most moderate voices onto my ticket, Nikki Haley, who absolutely has a plan for the future for abortion. And if this is the only thing she does, she will revolutionize the Republican Party. It's over. The race is done.
What do you think about Biden not being on the ballot in Ohio?
Chris, you're not listening to me. She promised she would not do that, but she did. She called him. He openly said that. He's like, listen, I don't agree with her running, but she wants to run. At least she had the respect to call me and ask my permission. I told her, yes, run. You're only telling half the story. DeSantis said he wasn't going to run. Donald Trump said he wasn't going to ban bump stocks. Donald Trump didn't say he was going to go ahead and push a vaccine. He's still doing it today. Politicians say things that they don't do. I don't know why this is a big deal. Why is it the only person that nobody holds accountable in this entire conversation is Donald Trump to what he says he was going to do? He did a lot of what he said he was going to do, but there was things that he promised that he didn't do. Oh, well, the Democrats blocked him. Okay, if my grandmother had balls, she'd be my grandfather. Loyalty is not for politicians. Loyalty is for you and me. We are America. Politicians are elected representatives to do what we say. They are not to be hero worshipped. They are not gods. They are not ideologues. They are not designed to be worshipped. Be loyal to your fellow American. And your fellow American is sitting here right here and telling you that Trump is not perfect. So if we're going to go ahead and compare tit for tat, we have to do it for everybody. But the only person who never gets that day of reckoning is Donald Trump. That's one thing I've done on my show for 4 years. So I've always called him out when he's wrong. And man, I have fervently stood up for him when he's right. And that's most often. But you can't sit here and say, well, Nikki Haley said she wasn't going to run. Well, you know what? Things change. Donald Trump has absolutely this is a primary. He's not the incumbent. That's not the way this works. It's not the way it works. He is not the incumbent president. The only person who remains unchallenged is the incumbent. Every single primary in U.S. history, you always challenge. You bring new faces who come in and challenge. Nothing wrong with that. Donald Trump won. What are we worried about? Nikki Haley did something in this party. It showed how Trump can win. What's the harm in that? Don't you want to know where Vivek Ramaswamy polls? Yeah, 4%. Pfft, get him out of here. Kristi Noem, 1%. Pfft, get her out of here. Ben Carson? Nobody knows. But he didn't do well in 2016. Byron Donalds? Nobody knows. Scott? Nobody knows. He was like 1.5%. Nikki Haley hitting 21% nationally. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Let's time out. Maybe we should lay off the bird brain shit just for a little bit and see what happens. That's what's going on. I still like Byron for VP. I like Byron, but we don't know how he polls. That's a risk, right? It's a risk because we don't know his numbers. And they're not polling that. There's no poll out there for that. There's no polling data. So it's like it's a risk. Why take a risk? It's not that I hate her, Ernest says. I just want what is best for this nation. We've been lied to and sacrificed for too long. I believe we need a change of how government is being ran. I agree with you. Tim says if he puts Nikki on the ticket, he wins. The other two mentioned are a crapshoot, not worth it. There you go, Tim. Tim's got it. How come Tim understands? Vivek is a phony baloney. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay. Was saying Tom Cotton could be in play for VP. Tom Cotton would be fine. I like Tom Cotton. I just don't know if that gets him what he needs. He needs the suburban woman's vote. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I voted for him. Yeah, but we're not talking about you. We're talking about he needs 4% of the men and 3%. That's what he missed. Between 2016 and 2020, the difference, all bullshit aside, all demographics, political disposition, height, weight, color, dick size, none of it matters. The only thing that matters is he lost 4% of the men vote over 2016 and 3% of the women's vote over 2016. That was the differential. He shifted those votes to Biden. He's just got to get those back. So he's got the 4% of the males back. Now he's got to get the 3%. How do you get the women? Put a woman on the ticket. That's it. So I've been saying it for 4 fucking years. 4 years. 4 years. Put a woman on the ticket. Tulsi Gabbard, fine. I don't like her. Listen, she's hot, and I think she's fucking awesome. Super smart. I love her. She's a vet. I would love to sit down and have a talk with her. Okay? If I wasn't married, I'd go after her. But her policies are shit. She's a liberal. And she was one of the most progressive leftists. Look it up. Look at her voting record. She was more progressive than Kamala Harris. She was more progressive than AOC. She was more progressive than Ilhan Omar, Rashid Tlaib, Brown. I can go on and on. She was the most progressive effing influence. And go look. Go look at her voting record. She's hot. But so's Nikki. She's milfy. Nikki's milfy. I throw her in the middle.
What do you think of Biden not being on the ballot in Ohio?
I think it's wrong. And I think they need to put him on the fucking ballot in Ohio. Because we hated it with Trump and I hate it with him. Win the right way. We don't need to do that shit. That's what Democrats do. They cheat. Put him on the ballot. If I was Donald Trump, I would go to the GOP. I would go to the lawmakers. And right when he gets out of that court case, I would go and stump in Ohio on the courthouse steps. And I would freaking scream in the nation's capital, Joe Biden needs to be on the ballot. If I was Donald Trump, that's what I would do. You want to talk about taking away the free and fair election bullshit that he's going to steal the election? Do what Biden didn't do. I want Joe Biden on the ticket. And I will tell you this, if you remove Joe Biden's name, take mine off too. They will never do that. It's it's an empty threat. But it's one that gets him every fucking news headline in America. Listen. I watched the Denver Nuggets. Jokic is probably single-handedly one of the best generational talents to ever play the NBA. He's amazing. He will be up there with Russell, Kobe, LeBron, Michael, Magic, Chamberlain. Okay? But he is a generational phenom. And he's just kind of like, meh. When they ask him, they said, you had a kid. Do you think that's made you a better basketball player? You know what he said? No, that has nothing to do with it at all. That was his answer. Absolutely not. That has nothing to do with it. He just does it because it's what he does. Where LeBron would be like, I'll just be honest with you. Let me tell you about me when I was a kid and what I did. Okay. And then Kobe would have been like, listen, it takes a family. It takes a unit. And by the grace of God, I'm doing that. Okay. Wilt Chamberlain would be like, bitch in the third row, meet me in my hotel. I'm going to fuck the shit out of you later. Right. So everyone's got a little bit of something. Jokic is just like, no. All-Star game. Are you really excited to be there? No, I just want to win the championship. And you're like, at least he's like, okay, I'm the Jokic of politics. I'm just going to let you know. I don't make mistakes. I'm not wrong. And when I am wrong, I'm humble enough to say, hey, I made a mistake. I'm just trying to tell you. What I'm explaining to you is just the facts. It's not emotion. I don't even want Nikki Haley as president. I don't want women in politics. Can I be honest with you? I think women in politics is a horrible fucking thing. They're emotional.
Because you get that cat fight in Congress the other day.
They're irate. They're emotional. They're not pragmatic about their thinking. No. Rarity is Margaret Thatcher. Okay? No. I don't want women in politics, but they are. And if they're going to be there, let's win. Okay? All right. Yes, I'm going to sit here and say until I miss a shot from three range, unless I miss something from the field, if I miss a rebound, if I don't get a triple double every night, then I'll sit here and say, yeah, I'm not as good as I should be. But this is my playground. I understand politics. I understand elections. I understand how to campaign, and I understand what the American people want because it's not hard. Because I just remain impartial. I don't put my own personal BK. You're the man. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it.
I don't put my personal emotions into it, y'all. I just tell you the facts. I'm more concerned about the cabinet he picks. The VP is made. Yeah, Judy. Yes. Amy goes, I never knew Tulsi's middle name because I'm like, Tulsi fucking Gabbard.
That's funny.
The UN needs to be defunded. Okay, sure. Whatever. I'm not a big fan of the UN. Hold on. We just got, BK. Thank you, BK. And then Christina. Liv, I'm sorry. This is one of those shows where I'm monopolizing all of it. Do you have anything to say about Haley? I know you've watched from afar. You get frustrated too. You've seen all these things. What are your thoughts? As a woman, you're still there. As a woman.
What was that for? I'm so confused.
I had to see if your vagina was still there because, you never know nowadays.
Well, you looked the wrong way. You got to look the other way because I'm over here.
I was checking out your vagina. The San Franciscan Gina. Vagina. Butt Gina, Liv. Butt Gina. Your butt Gina. How to speak San Franciscan. Vagina. Basketball. Parker and Stone.
It's been a long time.
South Park.
It's been a long time. I know who they are.
Obviously not, because
I
you
know,
don't even remember.
I've seen the
How to
movie.
speak San Franciscan. He pulls the guy's shorts down. He shows his ass. He goes, vagina.
Yeah, I don't remember that
Okay,
part.
whatever. Go ahead.
Okay, after all that rambling, what was the question?
Oh my God, rambling. Your thoughts on Nikki Haley. Your thoughts on her overall. What your thoughts are. You've watched the debates. You have a feeling about her. Do you like her? Do you don't like her? You think her policies are that? You think she's a rhino? What are your thoughts?
I don't really know much about her.
Oh my God, forget it. Jesus Christ.
Would you let me answer?
You
Without
didn't even answer.
Yes,
you
I
just
did.
said, I don't know anything about her, so nobody listened to me. Why do you always just say it?
Okay,
Why
would
do
you
you
like
have
me to finish
No,
the
I don't
answer?
want you to premise it, because what you do is you just told everybody you're not worth listening to, and you are. You have an amazing opinion. Stop downplaying yourself by going, I really don't know anything about her, but you should not listen to me.
Okay, would you like me to answer the question?
As long as you don't downplay
Because
your
I'm going
knowledge.
to start it the same way so I can finish the answer how I want to answer it, not how you want to tell me how to
Oh
answer
my
it.
God, women's liberty. Go ahead.
Not women's liberty. I'm
Yes,
not a
it is.
fucking liberal.
You shouldn't shave your armpits for a week. Will you go and just...
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know much about her.
Don't listen to her.
Dick. God. I'm gonna throw something.
Go!
But I'm up for anyone who is going to get Trump elected, and she's the way to get Trump elected.
Do you
Because
like her?
I
You've
liked
heard her
her. I
debate.
liked her in the debates. I don't have a problem with her. I don't. I mean, the only people that rubbed me the wrong way were Shoshwarmy. I did not.
Schwarmy.
I didn't like him at all.
I haven't heard that in a while. That was funny.
I didn't like
Did
him.
we call him baklava?
It was baklava Shoshwarmy or something like that.
Yeah.
But
that was funny.
I didn't like him. He drove me up the
Yeah,
wall
me
if
too.
I had to hear the whole "my parents are immigrants" bullshit one more time. Oh God, so annoying. I have no issues with her. I have none, and I don't know. I don't care one way or the other. But as far as a suburban housewife woman over here, yes, I think that is what's going to get him the vote, because she's the only person that can truly speak about abortion. And that having men speak about abortion, I hate to say it, I'm sorry, but abortion is more of a woman's topic than it is a man's topic. And she's the one who needs to speak about it. And I think women and people will actually listen to her, and maybe she'll convert some Democrats.
This is why you can't sit there and say anymore, I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, because I'm going to say something profound. You are smart, beautiful, intelligent, and your opinions are always based. You may not say a lot, but when you do, people need to listen. Stop discrediting yourself.
I'm not discrediting
Yes, you
myself.
are. Okay, you know what? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you do it all the time. And I'm giving you feedback live that I love you. I trust you. I listen to your opinion more than anyone else on the planet. Not just about hockey, okay? I trust you. You've taught me so much over our life, and it's why I'm married to you, and I respect you. Your mic is off. You're done. I can mute you here. See, I've been wanting to mute you for 30 fucking years, 25 years. I now have the power. So you're number one, too. You need to stop discrediting yourself, because that's what it's called. When you sit there and say, hey, nobody should listen to me, but I'm going to need you to listen to me. That was amazing insight. And you're right. The abortion game cannot be handled by men. He's not going to win that argument as a man, and no man is going to win that argument. But as a woman, it changes the narrative. Now your mic's back on. Go ahead, beautiful, sexy. God, you're good looking.
It's funny how you had to silence me right there.
Yeah, I did.
To get a word in edgewise.
JD, thank you. JD, thank you for your donation, by the way.
Thank you, JD. That's funny.
Okay. It's a good talk.
Oh, goodness.
This is a good talk. It's a good conversation, and it's an important one. It's an important one. Let's see what people are...
I'd never mess with a woman with a pink Stanley Cup. It's a Yeti, but that's okay.
You go, Olivia Spear. We love you too. It's a fantastic. See, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a fantastic comment. It's a fantastic. It's probably one of the best ones. And honestly, I wish I would have stolen it. she can navigate this obstacle better than a man. And it's about high time that we have a woman who can actually do something in politics.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
I'm seriously.
It is freaking embarrassing. After watching that cat fight last week, it is embarrassing to be a woman. And those women represent us in the political fray. And it is embarrassing to think that people look at that and go, that's how all women are. And we're not.
You know what you didn't do right there? You didn't say, hey guys, I'm going to give you an opinion on what women aren't, but go ahead and don't listen to me because I don't know what I'm talking about. That was beautifully done. You belong here. You never have to qualify. I'm just telling you here. You do.
Trying to qualify myself. I'm answering the question how I'm answering the question.
No, you're undercutting your argument before you even start. And I'm giving you some feedback as a person who is influential on how you can be even more influential, because everyone is agreeing and saying, started off with, this is my opinion. Started off with whatever, because you always do it. And I always sit here and shake my head, because when you open your mouth, great things come out. Sometimes good things go in, but
that was coming. I knew that was coming. I was waiting for it.
Not yet.
That's later.
But good things come out. So listen to me. I'm empowering you to not have to trivialize what you're about to say. I'm telling you, just say it, because it means something. It always does. Okay, good. There. Everyone agrees with me. They said, Olivia, shut up. Everyone. Like, there's 100 people that said, Olivia, shut up and listen to your husband.
I'm not going to speak. I'll just be the pretty face of the show.
No. That's the opposite of what we want. We want you to talk more. All right. So thank you for everyone for your donations. We love you. Listen, we're married. It's funny. Hayden in the car with her friend goes, you guys fight like a married couple. We're like, yeah, duh. Debates. What do I think about Donald Trump and the idiot debating? I think Joe Biden, everybody wants to assume that he's Mr. Poopy Pants and he can't put two sentences together. We made that mistake in 2020. Here's the thing. If Donald Trump allows him to irritate him, it won't be a good thing. Donald Trump has to go in there like debate 2 and 3 and not debate 1. And he needs to be magnanimous. He needs to stick to policy. He needs to not to overtalk Biden. He needs to let Biden hang himself, because the difference between 2020 and now is that Donald Trump was running on his legacy of COVID. Joe Biden is running on his legacy of COVID and all the other reasons why COVID didn't ruin the country, and he did. Donald Trump just needs to shut up. Donald Trump needs to sit there and just let Joe Biden hang himself and say, you know what? I'm going to let the President Biden, here's his number one line. Well, you got the answer, and you can certainly check the facts. I'm just going to give you a couple tidbits about why Joe Biden is lying, and A, B, and C. But he needs to stay completely magnanimous, stick to his talking points of what he wants to change, and let Joe Biden crush himself, because he will. I think it's June or July. I can't remember if that's when Deadpool 3 comes out or the debate, one of the two.
Deadpool 3 is July. We will be going to that in the theater.
Yes, Donald Trump needs to listen to me on a lot of things, but unfortunately Donald Trump won't listen to me because his network will never let me in, because I also speak the truth. And I have no problem with saying the truth about Donald Trump sometimes. There's things that I don't like. There's things that I don't like that he does. And he doesn't want to yes. I think Donald Trump, as long as I would not embarrass, like if Donald Trump and I were together and doing an interview, which he probably would never do with me, but if he did, I would never try to embarrass him. But I would tell him off air, hey, you got 15 minutes? I got some ideas. These are the things that I'm seeing that you do that turn people off. And instead, I'm going to get you to say the exact same thing, but it's going to turn people on. Can I just help you with a couple of things? Because the art of the deal, the one thing about the art of the deal is that not every single person has all the answers in sales. And you must constantly cultivate and learn and reshape your techniques. That's the one thing you talk about in the art of the deal. And you've been presenting the same way for far too long. Go ahead and stump the way you want on your rallies. Stump the way you want on your stumps and your interviews, But when it comes to this debate, let me tell you what you should do. For every minute that he talks, you should have 5 minutes, or for every 5 minutes that he talks, you should let him go on for another 5 if it's possible. Because Joe Biden can't answer anything that's not surface level. And as long as you allow him to speak unaccosted and unmolested, he will run out of space. And he'll get the 30 seconds, but that other minute and a half, he's going to be, blah, 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 and that's when you wait. And the moderators go, Mr. Biden, did you have, folks, give him a second. Let the president catch up. Joe, do you need a glass of water? Are you okay? Do that. Wait 1 second, folks. This is more important than a debate. Joe, are you okay? Do you want to take a second? Folks, can we go to commercial? Do that one time in that debate, and Joe Biden will never, ever, ever be on the debate stage again. Wait for the moment for him to blah, 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 blah. And when he does that, step in and save him.
I don't say blah, blah, blah.
Right, don't say blah, 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 because vampires do not say blah, blah, blah.
I got a question.
What?
Well, Thomas Austin has a question. With the endorsement of Trump by Blackstone Group CEO, will it help or hurt with the voters?
Here's the thing, is it doesn't matter, because Donald Trump went after BlackRock, he went after Blackstone, he went after Chase. He in 2020, he sat with the Koch brothers. Donald Trump, Nikki Haley took money from those groups. Ron DeSantis took money from those groups. You're an idiot if you don't take money from those groups. When you're running a national campaign, you take money from anybody. In fact, you dance with the devil. But that doesn't mean you need to give him a platform. So you take the money. So does it help? Does it hurt? I don't think it matters. It's not a big enough headline. It's not a big. Trump is. If you can't sink him with 91 indictments, Trump is unsinkable. He is the unsinkable Molly Brown. Nothing's going to hurt him. BlackRock, Warren Buffett, and Charles Schwab could come out and say that they're going to give him $5 million, and nobody's going to give a shit. Donald Trump is anti-establishment. He is always going to be anti-establishment, even if he is establishment. Hilarious thing with the Nikki Haley thing. Everyone's like, he's just being a politician. And I'm going, see? He's a politician. Everyone's like, he's not a politician. Yes, he is. He is by far a politician now. We've lost the Donald Trump who can say, I'm not a politician. He is a full-fledged politician at this point. And he will do whatever the political winds tell him to do, like a good politician should. This is the way the game's played. You have a different candidate than 2016. He was unknown. In 2020, you knew what you got, and people were scared because the Democrats did a very good job of selling COVID. Now, you know what you got with Biden, you know what you got with Trump, and most people know that even though they didn't like Trump, they had it better off under Trump. That is a huge advantage. He needs to use that. He needs to remind them how good it was under him. How was your 401k then and now? Well, let's just look at the comparison. Joe Biden has had an increase in the stock market of $7,000. I had an increase of $16,000. Donald Trump revolutionized the stock market. He was one of the first presidents ever to break 30,000. Does anyone even remember what happened during COVID? It went down to like 8 and 12, and then it was back up to like 26, 27 in 2020. Donald Trump was on the recovery. He was on the path to recovery. Joe Biden, all he had to do was keep it status quo, and he would have inherited a great economy. Instead, what did he do? He regulated energy. He regulated small business. This is what fucking Democrats do. And then they go ahead and they raise interest rates, and then the Fed responds, and it gives them a false number. People invest their money in secure things that they want to be productive. Big companies, big corporations survive. Small businesses suffer. It closes down, and then it does a bleeding economic trickle that takes 2 or 3 years to overall impact the economy, which usually is in a Republican's term. And then also they shut down the defense spending, and therefore the Republicans have to build back defense. So they have to add $1.1 trillion to the deficit, and then they have to go ahead and deregulate all the small businesses and take the leverage away from the banks, which also costs the American people dollars. This is what happens. Democrats falsify and give us a false bubble, and then the Republicans have to fix it during their administration. This is what happens. Q off subject. Lori Payne says, anybody who looks like Farrah Fawcett gets an answer from me. Off subject. Why are the numbers people watching not showing anymore? Why are the number of people watching not showing anymore? I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, on which platform?
Yeah, that's a good. Which platform exactly? Right now, we've got 21 on YouTube. We've got 74 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch, and we've got 21 on Twitter.
48 on Rumble.
48 on Rumble. So we're sitting at almost 200. It's a good question. Lori,
Really, you were never able to see him.
Biden is blading Republicans for the border crisis. Do you read his? I do. I read everything that. No, first of all, it's not Biden's tweets. Let's be honest. There is a social media controller who does this, and that person is full of shit as a Christmas goose. All right, next topic.
Can you call one of the children?
Sure.
Thank you. Hayden must be in the Kindle because she's not answering my text.
I think Facebook is done putting ads.
Texting you. I know. Can I have more water? And can you please leave the office door open? It's too hot to have it closed.
Oh, yeah. I'm playing piano. You're going to hear that.
I don't care. It's too hot to have the office door.
What's wrong?
Oh, I'm playing piano. So
Oh, you're playing piano? Good. All right. How's your Kindle? Good. If you don't use it.
2 books on it.
If you use it.
You've already read 2 books on it?
Good.
That's good. More?
They were both like over
All right.
400 pages.
BK. Okay. Violet, BK, stop. I love you both. Be nice. I don't think anyone meant anything by it. Okay. Everything's good. Show love. All right, folks. Real quick, we haven't done this in a while, and then we're going to go ahead and kick to our next topic. If you have not had a chance, we are Liv. Tell them about Link Tap Go and how they can help the show continue. By the way, the reason why you're not getting ads, I looked into it. If you've been a longtime watcher and a longtime viewer, and you haven't clicked through on the ads, they're not going to serve you with ads anymore. So the new program, really, the way it serves people who have not been on before. So that's why you're not clicking the ads. If anyone who hasn't watched the show a lot, if you're on there right now, would you let me know? Have you seen an ad for the show? And what we're going to find is more than likely yes. Hey, Mom, what's the AC at?
I set it to 70.
Take a look.
But Hayden, just don't close the door. That's the thing. Is you guys close the door. Yeah, you guys close the door and it just gets. Yeah, it's set to 70. It's on.
Okay.
Just don't close the door.
All right. So Link Tap Go.
Yes. Link Tap Go is
.com
/ the DUM Show. Sorry. I had to look at it.
Kick
I don't have
the
it.
Cat down. Donald, you're a longtime watcher, so you're not going to see ads. If you've been watching the show for a long time, I think that's what it is. Patricia says, here in Florida, I'll do it, honey. If you are a registered Democrat, you can't vote for a Republican candidate on the presidential ticket and vice versa. Do you think most people understand this? A Dem that changes his mind can't vote for Trump. I think that's just in primary. I don't think that's in the general election. I'll find out for you. Livs, go ahead.
linktapgo.com / DUM Show. You can go there and see pretty much everything, the news, our website, and it's all in one spot, right? When you go there, and you can go and
donations.
I know that.
Just go to the donations.
I know that.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
You wanted me to do this?
No, I want you not to do things that distract from the donations. Once they click Link Tab Go, they're going to see all the things. Just talk about the donations, please. Talk about how we're starving and our kids are going to die. And the mafia is coming to because of your gambling habit, and we need to get. We have a third child who is a midget albino who lives in the basement, and we need to feed them. Come on, just get to it. Can Florida go?
Oh,
Floridians change.
We survive on donations from our lovely viewers like you. Facebook has taken about 90% of our revenue stream, which was our biggest form of revenue for the show, and we don't get it anymore. So Spreely is still growing. It's growing monthly, but donations are our biggest form of revenue right now. We appreciate every penny that is donated, and it goes to a wonderful cause, which is keeping the show going and keeping Matt in that seat as opposed to getting a real job, because honestly, I don't know if I could handle it if he gets a real job.
Why?
Because you're going to be grumpy.
Oh, please. Like, I didn't do it forever. And this is a real job, by the way.
No, I'm talking, go get, like, you have to be out of the house VP job again. Go get a corporate job, and we don't.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No, we don't want that. Plus, we'd have to get another car if we did that.
Ugh.
We don't want another car payment.
So here's the thing. I first of all, understand this. A lot of places, Virginia does this, Florida does this, is there a closed primary state, which means if you don't have a designated party, you can't vote in the primary. Another thing that people do is that when you sign up and you actually fill out the little form to go ahead, you do a swear promissory note that whoever you vote for in the primary is who you're going to vote for in the general. There's nothing they can do about it. It is a bullshit thing. It has no power. The RNC does not control state elections. The GOP does not control state elections. The DNC doesn't control. The FEC controls state elections. Federal elections are controlled by the FEC as well on the federal level. So if they say that you vote in a primary for somebody, I don't think that that's true, that you have to vote for the same person. Democrats can most assuredly vote for a Republican if they want to, and Republicans can vote for Democrats if they want to. But when you run a primary and you vote in the primary, you have to make a promissory note. That promissory note, in the history of politics, no one's ever been held accountable. That's bullshit. It's just a way for them to get you to feel like you've made a promise and you have to commit to it. It is a bullshit technique. It's one that I railed against. You remember during Youngkin, they tried to make me do it. And I said, go fuck yourself. I'm voting in this primary. I'm a Republican. I'm a registered Republican. I'm not filling out shit. And if you go ahead and try to, I'm going to report you to the FEC. They shit a purple Twinkie. They wanted nothing to do with me. And then I went ahead and walked the entire line as Brandon Michon's out there stumping, and I'm embarrassing the shit out of him. And I'm telling people, you do not need to sign this document. You do not need to sign anything. You can vote in this primary without committing to a candidate. That is 100% crap. So if somebody's told you that, it's not true. Okay? Yes. Michelle says, I want to see the cat. Well, then go to a cat show. Kitty, kitty! Michelle will get you the cat. We love you. Your cat is like mine. That cat knocks shit over. There's a lot of.
She's needed holes in my desk cover.
There's money here. There's a lot of money in here, and she screws with things. So we gotta hold her accountable. Closed caption said link tap ghost. There's always 2 ads before the show on YouTube. Thank you, Diane. We're talking specifically about Facebook. Are y'all posting out on Twitter? We're on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah. You can cross over in the general. Olivia needs her 4th liver transplant and her yard is drying out from drought. Please donate. Ethan is emaciated too. Begin your comments. He's grumpy anyways, Olivia. I'm not grumpy, Deborah. Listen, Deborah. Listen, Deborah. I'm not going to tolerate your bullshit. Your vote is supposed to be private. Yes, it is.
Your name, Deborah.
Question, Matt. Violent and I weren't arguing. We were picking at Tuner monkeys. Oh, okay. Well, Tuner sucks, so hit him all day.
He's a Leafs fan. Go.
Just kidding.
Pick on him all you want.
Dude, he doesn't listen. Okay, Tuner, since hockey's over, essentially, for both of us, can I tell you something funny? Greatest thing I ever saw. They're like the greatest rivalries in hockey. They're like Chicago, St. Louis, New York for New Jersey, Colorado versus Detroit, and the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the first round. So good. So good. All right, sorry. Go Red. Fuck the Red Wings, Violet. I love you, but I don't want to hear about the Red Wings. I'm kidding. Cats are assholes. My cat's not. She's a lovely, amazing cat. I just give her a hard time. Hey, Matt and Olivia. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you, DC. We appreciate you. It's nice to do some comments. Let's do.
He thought it was funny. He's laughing at the joke.
The comments are over. Shit. All right. Let's do our last couple. I really enjoy you guys. You guys are fun. Seriously, I really like our viewers. It's. I'm going to miss you guys when we go bankrupt.
Bite me, Matt. The Red Wings are my team. Good for you, Violet.
That was awesome. Good. So let's listen to this. You know, I think here's the thing.
It's the kitty for everyone.
If you have to,
everyone wants to see the kitty. So there she is.
Jennifer.
You gonna meow for us?
Yeti. Psst, psst, psst. Jennifer.
Okay. Gonna stick her butt in the camera is what she's gonna do.
I'm getting everything, Melanie. Jeez Louise. Media can't be trusted. This is a good one. Watch this.
JD, Hayden's birthday was great. Thank you for asking.
It was.
And tell your son happy birthday.
The only problem with it is that she's not 18 and moving out. Shut up. Fuck.
She heard that.
She's
goes,
like,
unfortunately.
She's like, unfortunately, all the way in the other room. She has ears like her dad.
Yes, the name is from The Witcher, Alexandra.
Yep, it's from The Witcher.
Yep, children named her. Yes. We let the children name her.
Dad suggested it.
Yeah,
and they
but
said
we
yes.
let
Okay, here we go. Watch this video. This is why the media can't be trusted. Here we go.
CNN edited a video to...
Hayden, since you can't move out yet, will you mind making me my orange shank? Thanks, love. Please. What did she say?
She said, ugh.
Ugh. I love her so
She's
much.
so your child.
She's so fun. She's like the best. God, I wish Ethan was more like her. I don't think he heard me.
I don't think he's down here.
Oh, well, that works. All right.
As though Trump impatiently dumped a box. CNN edited a video to make it appear as though Trump impatiently dumped a box of fish food into the water in Japan. The full video showed Trump had simply followed the lead of Japan's prime minister. In June 2017, NBC News reported that Russian President Putin said he had compromising information about Trump. Actually, Putin said the opposite.
Do you have something damaging on our president?
Well, this is just another load of nonsense. Where would we get this information?
The New York Times and CNN shared a story with photos of immigrant children in cages. It turns out the photos were from 2014, during the Obama administration. In November 2019,
Happy birthday to Amy's daughter.
we falsely reported that President Trump was spending Thanksgiving golfing in Florida. He was actually in Afghanistan serving dinner to U.S. troops. Good morning. CBS aired a story in March of 2020.
Christine just bought her Documents of Freedom. I'm going to have to order more, folks. If you order the Documents of Freedom now, since it's the 25th, we will not be shipping them until next month, which is fine. You can order it. It gives us a pre-order. So those are now taken. Christine got the Kristen. I'm so bad at this. Christine. It's Christine. Got the last one, and she just picked up her Documents of Freedom. So, Christine, congratulations. If you do want to order one, folks, just remember it just takes us a little bit to build it. We make it out of wood. It's gorgeous. It's purdy. It's got engraved stars, like engraved. They go in like a half an inch. They're gorgeous. Wooden boxes that hold all 3 books. Hey, Hayden, thanks. Such a good kid. I don't think you should be Shrek.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I don't want to be a giant green ogre.
they're gonna make you Shrek.
Say, all right, here we go. Here we go.
The person who actually knows how to project my voice.
Dude, what's hilarious is that Hayden has had a chance to be multiple things in plays, from Mrs. Potts to Jasmine Bell. And so today she does the high school production thing. They come in there and they help them, and they've got like a week, and they're like, she projected so loud. They're like, you could be Shrek. I'm like, so let me get this straight. They picked you to be the green fat ogre.
Over Mrs. Potts, who I sang that song amazing, by the way.
You did. I did. She was amazing. All right.
Don't close the door.
Patricia, I'll put this on the DUM Club if you want this video. And I don't know if you're a member of the DUM Club, but I don't want to put it behind a paywall, but we'll figure it out. Just email me, Matt@thedumshow.com, and say, hey, send me this, and I'll drag and drop it and send it to you. Okay, here's the rest.
Supposedly showing a New York hospital crowded with patients.
It's all hands on deck in America's hospitals.
Is actually filed tape from Italy. A week later, CBS News mistakenly used the Italy video again. In May, the BBC and The Guardian reported because Trump wasn't wearing headsets, he didn't bother to listen to the translation of a speech by Italy's prime minister. But Trump was wearing his earpiece in his right ear, as always, said the White House. Newsweek reported Poland's first lady refused to shake Trump's hand, but later acknowledged she did.
Listen, I've done and shared hundreds of these damn videos, and the media can't be trusted. I'll quickly. I have had not the honor, not the privilege, just the mere dumb luck to work or monitor 11 different countries with state-run media. And I can tell you that all the key indicators that I would observe in government state-run controlled media, whether it be Bosnia, whether it be Iran, Russia, all have key similarities to where the United States is with its media. And it's not that it's predominantly state-run and controlled, where the government is giving specific talking points to the media companies. It's that they don't need to do that. Is that the media companies are not challenging and questioning the narrative from the government, so there is no process to have anything nefarious. It's that there's no real investigative journalism taking place. And then the investigative journalism that does take place is only in the opposition. This happens on Fox and CNN. They're both guilty of it. There is, you should believe nothing you get from the media. And that is why this show is, especially our news area that we work on, and these articles that I write are usually fairly well received because they are not government talking points. They give you a fair and balanced perspective from both sides of the aisle with very little editorialization. And if they do, they state opinion. There's a reason for that. Liv, your thoughts on the media. Now, you're not a person who dove into the media at all, but most recently you've consumed quite a bit. What are some of the things that you've seen? And
well, I mean, I watched a ton in starting with the 2016 election that year. And then we watched it a lot when we moved to Texas. And I remember there was one point where I was like, okay, I'm done watching the news. I don't want to watch it anymore. I was like, I need a break. But yeah, CNN is, all the left media, they always lie or stretch the truth, or their stories are awful. But Fox is very biased to the right. And, I like a couple, like Greg Gutfeld always is pretty tell it like it is. But I really only watch CNN on this show. Very rarely do I watch it. So I can't really say. It's the only clips I see are the ones we do on the show. So I only see the stupid ones. I don't really have any experience on actually watching them. And unfortunately, I don't have enough time in the day to be able to sit down and watch them, just to watch them to see how they are. Because majority of the time, I don't even like the hosts. They're just annoying. It's like nails on a chalkboard when I listen to them anyway. So just, yeah.
I think it's a good stasis for where most people are at right now, is that people only turn on the media rarely at all until there's a situation where it's difficult for them to be biased. For instance, a 9/11 or the bridge collapse, where it's like it's real-time reporting and you can see it firsthand. But when it comes to like as a member of the News Watch and getting the flash, I can see things before they go into mainstream news. And then I've got a couple of other things that are military approved that I have lifetime access to that is not general public, but it's certainly not confidential or secret. It's just, it's certain programs to access which give news in a very unfiltered way from a geopolitical analysis standpoint or military analysis standpoint. It's unfiltered. And I can see the changing of those stories in real time. And that's why I always recommend people, and I always will, is allsides.com. And I'm telling you, All Sides, hands down, is the best place to get your news from. And I don't even know who owns it. I don't even care. I don't receive anything from it. But when I read my news, and it gives me a perspective from the left, the right, and the center, no topic at all ever encroached upon on that site is left to its own accord. It is absolutely, they always link you the left, the right, and the center perspective. So you can read all three articles and get somewhere in between there is the truth. So what I always try to do is it's just my secret, is I go ahead and I read the flash and I get it before it's been touched by the AP or Al Jazeera or CNN or any of the major conglomerations which disseminate this stuff with the spin and edit it. And therefore, that's where I know things that happen And that's why I was so spot on with the bridge incident. And Mel and I came on here and we started analyzing it for you from a naval perspective, but allsides.com. Yeah. Liv, can you look it up and then link it? Just put in all sides into Google and it'll show right up, all sides balance. And that helps me. But I've been doing this for years, right? So I can smell a lie like a fart in a car because I've been doing geopolitical analysis like Leroy has, where we can look at something and go, no, that's not, without even researching, and we know where to start. And a lot of people don't have that ability. Surprisingly enough, there's many people in the Twitter sphere and Facebook who are very good at this. Laura Loomer, I don't like Laura Loomer very much. I think she's just, wants to blow Donald Trump, and that's about it. But she's a very good and very strong investigative journalist. There's many people. Tim Pool was excellent at it, and now he's kind of, become lazy. I never had the gumption to get out and hit the beat. That's not my thing. But he's very good at seeing things a little bit differently than other people. But All Sides Balance right here. This is a fantastic site. And it is, here, I'll just quickly. And I don't want to promote them because I don't even know who owns it. And I'm sure you might find somebody who owns it and go, oh, how can you promote this site? Well, because I don't care. For instance, here's this: Louisiana passes bill to reclassify abortion pills as controlled substance. But right here is from the left, from the center, from the right. And you can get all three stories right here. So if we want to go into this, Louisiana could soon classify abortion pills. Abortion pills could soon be in the same category as opiates. Red state votes to make abortion pills controlled substance as activists defy pro-life. And you can go in here and get the perspective. And then, bam, here it is. For context, the details, how the media covered it. And then you can get the actual links to it and go into the article itself. Here's Daily Wire. And then you can go into the Wall Street Journal. And then you can open up Time Magazine. And those are very much left, right, and center publications. And that's it. Pretty simple. Okay. Here's the video I want to show you. And Liv, I really want to get you on this.
Okay.
Here is the difference between a black man being treated at a MAGA rally and a conservative woman, but listen to this.
Such as the Trump people, they just don't want to see it.
Hey, I wanted to take you over here with me to the Trump supporter side, and maybe you can show me if there is racism over here that I should be concerned about. He wants to know if he's going to be safe inside there if he goes.
Yeah, come on in, you go with us.
We'll welcome you with open arms.
Hey, you guys almost changing me around. Hold on, a few more, I might change my mind. I don't see enough of me to represent with me here.
Hey, you're with us. That's all that matters, brother. It don't white don't mean shit.
Now I'm gonna go over with the demonstrators with him, and he's gonna follow me around and see if I get treated with love and tolerance.
Little fucking Nazi bitch.
We're not ready. Yeah, no one can hear what you're saying. You can, bitch. How do we become black?
Such as
it's not, folks, it's not hyperbole. It's they fucking hate anyone who's not them, and it's all white people.
Mm-hmm.
And they hate black people. They only like black people when it can fill their guilt meter. But if a black person says, I don't agree with what you're saying, I don't agree with Biden, you know what they say to him? They call him an Uncle Tom, and they call him MAGA, and they call him a racist. I mean, look what they've done to Thomas Sowell. Look what they've done to Larry Elder. Look what they've done to Ben Carson. Look what they did to oh God, who was the gentleman who passed away? Who is the Republican who ran in 2016? Herman Cain. Look what they did to Herman Cain. They don't love black people. They like black people to follow their lead and to suppress their white guilt. And the moment that they say no, I'm just letting you know right now, would have no problem calling them an N-word because that's what the Democratic Party is. That's who they are. You have to fit into their mold. You have to be oppressed. You have to hate the white person. You have to make them feel their guilt so they can go ahead and quantify their feelings of why they have to ultimately control your life. And I don't care if it was from 2020. I don't care if it was from 2016. I don't care if it was 100 years ago. Nothing's changed.
It just shows the hypocrisy.
Nothing's changed. I have never had a conservative treat me the way that liberals treat me, ever. And I can't begin to tell you. I can walk into any establishment that I want with tattoos, beard, t-shirt. I never get looked down on. Ever. I've never, even the most staunch Republicans have never looked down on me. I will tell you, liberals, even in my own town, treat me like I'm a piece of shit sometimes. And it's crazy. But racism, most conservatives are too damn scared to be racists. They don't have anything to be racist about because let's just be honest, a lot of black people don't live in our neighborhoods, but the ones that do, like, tell them about Bubba every time he walks into Tammy's, what it's like.
I give him a hug. He gives me a hug. I give him a kiss on the cheek, and he gives the kids a hug. How's it going? I ask about his daughters. He's got 4 daughters. I think all of them are doctors, if I'm not mistaken. But he always tells me about his daughters, and he is a very staunch Democrat. Yeah. But he is awesome. He's fantastic.
Let me tell you the story. Since I don't think they know. I've never shared this story, and I need to write an article about this story because it's really a good story. So I have never worn a MAGA hat in public, and it's not because I'm ashamed. It's that if anyone touched me, I would go to prison. If anyone touched my hat or insulted me in front of my family or insulted my family, that would be the end of me. So I'd go to jail. So I don't do it. I don't put myself in that position. but one time I just grabbed, and I have, how many hats do I have?
Oh my gosh, like 250.
I have hundreds and hundreds of hats.
Oh my gosh, so many.
And I went in and I just grabbed one. It was a camo hat. I thought it was my Astros hat because I have a camo Astros. And it was a Make America Great Again hat. And no one's ever seen me wear it on this show. I don't wear it. And I went into the restaurant and I sat down, and we have several Democrats, staunch Democrats in that restaurant. And Bubba's one of them. And I just noticed that he was being weird. Olivia and I always sit across from each other in one corner of the restaurant. We always sit in the same spot. And Bubba was taking up a spot, and he had a clear one next to him. But instead of moving over for me, he wouldn't. And I had to go in the corner with Olivia, and like literally, I'm like this, and I'm a big dude. I'm big. I'm as big as he is, and he just was what I felt was rude. And he's never acted that way. And you know, when I asked him to scoot over, he wouldn't. He was short with Olivia, and it was just rude. So the next day comes around, we go back in, and he walks in, and we're opening the door, and he didn't even say goodbye or say hello. And it was just, you know, crazy. And then I realized, holy shit, I had my MAGA hat on. And so this kind of became a big thing in the restaurant because everyone talks to each other. And it got around, and then Mike, who is a good family friend who we adore and love, he wanted to create the piece. So he said something and told Bubba, and then Tammy went up and said, why are you being mean to Matt? You know, and she's like my mother, and she doesn't let that shit happen. And she goes, you better stop being mean to Matt, or I swear to God, I'm going to beat the shit out of you with a pan. You know, that's just Tammy. And then, of course, to me, she's like, you better be nice to him because if you're not, you know, and it's just, we're family. And so I went into the restaurant with Olivia, and we sat on the other side of the restaurant because we just said, fuck it, we're not going to go over there near him. And he stood up. And he walks over and he goes, you and I got something to talk about, yeah? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, you feel in a certain way, something about me, and I need to hear it. And I told him, and I said, I was wearing a MAGA hat, and I thought it pissed you off. And he goes, we're family. I don't give a shit about you wearing no fucking MAGA hat. You're my brother. I love you. I love your family. And none of that ever gets in the way of us. And you need to know that. And anything that happened was just a misunderstanding, because I'd die for you and I'd protect you and I love you like a son. And put his hand out. We didn't hug because we're men, and that would have been a tearful moment. And we just shook hands, and he's like, nothing comes between family. And what people need to understand is that out of all the people who I've ever interacted with in my life, that is the first liberal that I've ever met who was just like, because liberals don't do that. Democrats do. Blue collar do. But these people are leftist progressives. They don't. And there's another story of two people who we absolutely love who won't talk to us anymore, who knew very well that we were Donald Trump supporters. And they got through it for like 6 months, and then they just couldn't handle it anymore. The closer we got to the election, and they don't talk to us anymore. My kids would love them. I wouldn't help them with their sound systems.
They've been over for Christmas dinner.
We invited them over. They're just family, and they will not talk to us anymore. They won't even look at us. And because one day she's like, well, you always talk politics. And I'm like, yeah, and plumbers always talk plumbing mains, and electricians always talk about couplers, and race car drivers talk about tracks and cars. And I'm a political host, and of course I'm going to talk about that. But if you don't want me to talk about that, all you got to do is say so. Well, I'd rather have you not talk about it. Okay. So I don't. And I didn't. And the moment that I stopped, that person just said bye. And it's just the way it is. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for being on. Thank Spreely, thank Twitter, thank Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, all of you. Live.
You don't have the donations on Rumble work?
Yeah, don't do them on Rumble.
Okay.
Just go straight to Link Tap Go. That is kind of a scam thing, and they take like 50% of whatever you give, and I would not recommend it. Now, no, wait. Are you talking about like the super chat things? Oh no, you can donate on Rumble and do the rants thing, I think is what it's called. That's fine. Just don't join that community red club thing.
Yeah, I think it is because Frank donated $50, but I don't know how that
when
works. Maybe 20 minutes ago.
Hold on, let me see. I did get something.
Okay.
I just have never seen it before. So let me see. It was Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. New earnings have posted. Oh, there it is. Listen, it's not bad, Frank, but if you gave 50, I'll just tell you they took $12.50 out of that for their portion.
Geez.
So that, first of all, thank you. That's $38.50. Let me put it up. And that is a good thing. But they do take quite a bit. So the best is PayPal. PayPal is the best. They take out of like $100, I think they take like $2 or $3. Out of that $500 we had, I think it was $22 they took. So it's fine. I don't mind. Listen, I'm not going to ever challenge where you give. Your giving is amazing. I just would think, like most people, including myself, when I give, I would rather have more go to the person I'm giving to than some transaction company. So PayPal's the best for us. However, it all goes to the same place, and we appreciate it immensely. Okay? So thank you for that, Frank.
Yes.
It means a lot, and that's just even more help. In fact, I think that gets us real close.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Gets us over less than 100.
It gets us close. Let me see. 50. I can't do math in my head, and I got a headache, and I'm tired. Yep. So that puts us $30 away, basically. Or no, excuse me, $70 away. So we're really close. So I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you, sir.
We are going to get a P.O. box. People have asked us for a P.O. box, and because some people do not want to send money via credit cards, so we got to work on that. We're going to go to the post office and do that. But remember, folks, we appreciate you. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock, if you have not signed up, thedumclub.com. If you don't want to give donations every single time and you're looking to get something back, the Dumb Club is a great way to do it, folks. We've got, I think, 18 members now. We're going to have a big, if you have not checked your email, check it. If you do not have the instructions on how to get on the call.
Check spam and junk. I've heard a lot of people say that it went to spam or junk. Check your spam or junk boxes. And if that's the case, you need to add the address to your address list or start or something to where your email server doesn't think it's junk.
You just need to add yourself to the address book or just hit star or whatever, or hit accept, move it to inbox. Just no spam. Just right click on it whenever you see it in spam, and there'll be a setting that says, do you want to put this in your inbox? Do you want to make this person a friend? Just hit yes. But either way, the instructions on how to get to call, I just sent it out to everybody. Good. Violet got her email. Wonderful. If you did not, mine went to spam, Maureen said. So if we want you on the call tomorrow, we'd love to have you on, as many people. If you want to be a part of the call and you're not a part of the Dumb Club, just let me know. Send me an email, matt@thedumshow.com. We'd love to have you on. Folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for making it so fantastic. 12 Eastern. We will see you tomorrow on The Dumb Show. Good night.
Night, y'all.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.